All right, guys. So I definitely messed up in my last video. Now I wanted to find out if I can only buy audio products from one company the rest of my life, who would it be and why? So I covered a bunch of different audio companies in that video to kind of talk about reasons why I would maybe go with one over the other. And somehow I left out Soundcore. I went through my list, and when I was making my list, I was making sure I didn't forget anybody. And I wanted to think about the products that has made an impression on me, but also in the audio world, especially when it comes to true wireless earbuds, since that's mainly what we focus on here. And for some reason, Soundcore just completely slipped my mind. So I figured today we're gonna do a video just dedicated solely to why Soundcore may be that best option. And I wanted to kind of cover Soundcore products that have been my personal favorites, ones that I think has kind of made an impression or stood out amongst a lot of the other products that are actually out in the market. And I also want to say this, they have two products coming out very, very soon, one of which I already have my hands on, that a lot of Soundcore fans are going to be excited about. It's about all I can say on that, but I did want to tease that right there at the beginning. But let's go ahead and start with the one earbud that I think caught the most attention out of Soundcore's lineup. This earbud I think is pretty iconic in a sense that it came out with this ridiculous value, especially compared to the AirPods and the Bose earbuds that were out in the market, and that is the Liberty 3 Pro. It originally came out at $169, but it was one of the first pair of true wireless earbuds that offered LDAC support without actually having to be a Sony product. Now you can pick up the Liberty 3 Pros for about $79 brand new, and I still think they hold their value, and I still think they're one of the best earbuds out there. You're getting incredible noise canceling at this price point. The app experience with Soundcore products I think is one of the best out there, and they're using coaxial dual drivers. And to me, this offers some of the most impactful bass, but still having a ton of space. The best way to describe it is a lot of the Soundcore products have this dynamic sound, but it has this spaciousness to it. It doesn't sound overly congested or muddy, so you can still kind of enjoy the most out of the bass that you want and a lot of the bright treble, and it just not be ear fatiguing. It's really enjoyable to listen to. And the Liberty 3 Pro, I just feel like it was one of those products that kind of brought Soundcore to people's attention. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is one of those that I don't think a lot of people have had the chance to check out, but we've gotten to a point where open ear style audio has become really popular. And so Soundcore released the AeroFit Pro. These do come in at $169, so it kind of has a much higher price tag than a lot of the other maybe offerings that are out there. But I feel like this is a high-end product for open ear audio, but also for Soundcore in general. Now, I think this is the best open ear product that I've tested. It also offers LDAC support, which I think is kind of crazy in an open ear style design earbud because you can't generally take advantage of audio quality as much as you can a normal pair of earbuds or headphones. Now also, it has spatial audio with head tracking. Now normally I find this gimmicky, it's not something I generally enjoy, but for some reason, spatial audio with the head tracking with an open ear style earbud is actually pretty impressive. It's still not the way that I would choose to listen to music, but movies, TV shows, anything like that where you really kind of want to be open to that environment and kind of feel like you're dropped in, it's really impressive what it can do. Also, battery life is pretty impressive, but the fast charging on here I was really surprised by, because on a 10-minute charge you can get 5 hours of use, and this pair is also using some pretty large 16.2 millimeter drivers that I think are very powerful. Again, for this design, it has really impressive low end, which you don't generally expect with an open ear style earbud. So overall, I was very happy, and I kind of get the high price tag of these. Now, the next one on the list, I think a lot of people kind of see it as maybe a gaming device, and that is the Soundcore VRP10. But I kind of consider this earbud to be a media powerhouse. And the reason for that is it has the USB-C dongle that has that 2.4 gigahertz connection. So you're not relying on Bluetooth to cut down lag and latency and things like that. Originally, it was designed to be an earbud that would work with like the Meta Quest 2. but I find that using it for PC and using it for handheld gaming like the Steam Deck and things like that, and even the phones, because obviously a lot of phones don't have headphone jacks, but every new phone now has a USB-C input, so having that little adapter just makes it where it's pretty universal. You could use it on anything and you're not having to worry about lag. But on top of that, Soundcore's still giving you their app compatibility. They're still giving you this sound signature that they have been going for with all their other products. This one does use 11mm drivers, and it's very, very solid what these things are capable of. And I think because it's designed for VR and gaming and media, it definitely emphasizes the punch in the low end. I think it wants you to feel explosions. And also it does a really good job of bringing out vocals and dialogue. So I think it also works extremely well for music, and I kind of found myself using these in a lot of different ways that maybe it wasn't originally intended for. Now, the next one on the list is the newer ones in the Liberty lineup, and that is the Liberty 4 NC. These come in at $99, although right now you can get them for $69. Even though it's a STEM style design, which is not normally my favorite, because of what it sounds like and because of the noise canceling that it has, that kind of makes it a little easier to look past the STEM style design, because I think the noise canceling on here is excellent, especially for its price range. Now, if you're not wanting to spend as much as like the Sony and the Bose when it comes to noise canceling, I think this is a very good alternative if you're just looking for noise canceling alone. But on top of that, this is another one that's high-res certified with LDAC playback. The battery life is insane, where you can get 10 hours on the earbuds with 50 hours using the case. And it carries over the sound signature that Soundcore has used in their other more expensive earbuds. So think of it as like a Liberty 3 Pro Lite, maybe, if you want to look at it that way. So to be able to get that kind of sound and that noise canceling and those features at only like $69, I definitely think it's one that people should take a look at. Now, the last one that I wanted to put on the list, although it's not an earbud or a headphone, I do feel like this is one category that a lot of people kind of overlook Soundcore, and that is Bluetooth speakers. I think this is an area where they do an incredible job. They actually sell quite a bit of Bluetooth speakers, but the one that I checked out kind of recently was the Soundcore Boom 2. This is a fairly large speaker. It's not one of their smaller offerings, but it comes in at $129. It's another one that's on sale right now for $109. And I think it's a very powerful speaker. Now it says, I think that it was originally like maxing out at 60 to 65 watts, but because of the bass up feature, it pushes it up to 80 watts output power. And then on a speaker this size, that is really loud, and it's very impactful because of the low end that it can produce. It is waterproof, coming in at IPX7, but it's also floatable. So if you're gonna use it in the pool, or if you use it by the pool and it kind of gets knocked over into the water, it's gonna just float on the top of the water. But on top of that, it has 24-hour battery life, which is huge. If you're gonna go to the beach or if you're gonna go on vacation, having that kind of battery life means you don't have to worry about charging it as often. And the built-in subwoofer that this speaker has also puts out quite a bit of punch. It's just a really good, well-rounded speaker. Now with the lights that's on the side and all of that, it kind of has a gimmicky look to it. But if you can look past that, it's a very impressive speaker, especially for one that you can get for around $100. So although that was kind of a quick run through of some of my favorite Soundcore products, again, I apologize to Soundcore and I apologize to my audience. I don't know how I overlooked them when I was making the list from my previous video, because Soundcore's had quite the impact in the audio world, especially when it comes to budget earbuds and speakers and things like that. Because if I remember correctly, Soundcore originally was mainly branded as Anker products, and it was mainly like a cheaper alternative to other audio products, usually just like at a Walmart. That's what I remember, is like that brand standing out. But I always saw it as like a budget option. But throughout the years, it's definitely gained the reputation to kind of get respect in the audio world. So I wanted to do a video that kind of touched on that a little bit and kind of make up for leaving Soundcore out of my previous video. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.